very good afternoon to all of you, and a warm welcome to today's inaugural function. The United Nations aims to contribute our small part through our butterfly garden, Paankule. At the outset, I would like to request the principal of our college, Dr. Preeta D. Malya, to address the virtual gathering.
A very good afternoon to everyone present, and a special welcome to Mr. Heblekar, Mr. Yashodhan Heblekar, who I think has come to this college a few years ago, but in a completely different capacity. This is a very different initiative that has been taken, or that is being taken by the Green Club of the college, Vasundhara. I must congratulate all the members of the club, Mrs. Ashwini Devri, Ms. Tessa Pereira, and Ms. Meher Rodriguez for, they acted upon a green audit report that we had done. So we had audited the campus about 4 or 5 months back, and one of the suggestions, one of the areas of the audit was in the biodiversity on the campus, and we had not expected to get anything over there. And we were very pleasantly surprised when the auditor mentioned that we have a surprising variety of plants on the campus. It's a very small garden, a very small space, but she said you do have a lot of plants there, and you could think of a small butterfly garden. So I must congratulate the Green Club, Vasundhara, for having acted upon that initiative and that suggestion rather. And we have got some place cleaned out, and they have got some butterfly attracting plants planted over there. And we thought, what better person to inaugurate our garden than Mr. Hebler, who has a conservatory in Priol. So just to mention to you, I have visited your conservatory about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's a very pleasant place, very nice place to visit. So we are hoping, to have at least some species on our campus, more than anything to give pleasure to our eyes. So we know that they are beautiful creatures, very difficult to think of them as insects. Very beautiful creatures, and we are hoping that students notice, observe, and get an interest in all kinds of life and conservation. So with that, so welcome once again, and we hope to learn a lot from you today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Ms. Ashwini Devari to introduce the chief guest, Mr. Yashodhan Heblekar, for the inaugural of our butterfly garden. Due to the pandemic, our chief guest will be joining us virtually for this program.
Thank you, Stressa. It is my pleasure to introduce the chief guest for today's inaugural function, Mr. Yashodhan Heblekar. He is a general insurance professional, wildlife artist, and conservationist. He has completed his Bachelor's of Engineering from GEC and also has done his postgraduate diploma in management from GIM. In the past, he was heading Surekha Insurance Private Limited from the year 2003 to 2007. He was an area manager for Goa region in Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company. He started his own firm, Srushti Insurance Services, in the year 2015 and is successfully running the same. Mr. Heblekar is a promoter and a founder at Butterfly Conservation of Goa. Due to his love towards nature and Mother Earth, he has created first project of afforestation and sustainable tourism called Mystic Woods at Piskar, Prior, Goa. It is spread over 4,000 square meters. It is designed as a place to stroll and observe in the beauty of nature. One can take a leisurely walk and observe over 100 species of butterflies from the close quarters. It attracts and reserve into an forest. This park is owned and maintained by the nature lovers, Dr. Jyoti and
Thank you, Ashwini. I now request Mr. Heblekar to kindly take over.
Hi, good morning. Okay. Can I be heard? Am I audible? Okay. I got a message that I'm audible, but I was not very sure because I was not getting a response. I think everybody else is muted. Uh, Actually, I would have loved a little bit of interactivity because that will at least help me address some things in relation to that beautiful initiative that you have started in your college. Apologies for doing this as a virtual thing. My brother-in-law had been diagnosed with COVID, and I met him briefly, so I was not very sure. So taking extreme precautions and avoiding contact for a few days till we are clear. Touchwood, till now, no problems. Okay, to make it interactive, I just wanted to know what's everybody's understanding of the role of butterflies in nature. If some of them could be unmuted, and I would like to. A lot of them are teachers, so they would know what's being taught. What is because every creature has a role in nature. So, what could be the butterfly's role in the nature? Yeah, anybody? You can let them unmute if it is possible. Okay, there's a message coming saying pollination. Anything else? Anybody disagrees with Miss Tessa, who says that pollination is the main thing? Well, it's a known fact that honeybees are the best pollinators that you have, and butterfly, if you rank it in the role of pollination, would be probably 9, 10, or 11, maybe even lower in that ranking in that insect world if they had best pollinators contest. Butterflies would really rank low. Anybody else? You can message also. I'll read out the messages. Okay. Food chain. Okay, great. Um, yeah, Dr. Naik. Uh, in case you're not audible, then you could just even put out a message. I'll read it out. It's in fact one of the most underrated but most significant contribution to the entire ecosystem. Okay, because normally we do get a lot of school groups in the park, and most of them have two standard replies. One is they're important for pollination, and the second one this is the indicators of pollution. I'm not very sure how that is. How did anyone arrive that they are good indicators of pollution? But both of them, to some extent, may be a true, but that's not the main role. Okay, and this is where why we started with butterflies as a starting point. It was never meant to be a butterfly park. When I had taken up this hill slope, the builder had taken up a hill slope and he wanted to clear the forest and make more plots. So we, instead of fighting it out, we decided to just buy it. So we took it more out of a selfish motive of preserving our view. We had built a house down, and on the hill we wanted that green layer to be there. Okay, but it was a cucumber field, and there were only cashew trees which were growing. So anything that we tried to plant, we tried earlier to put mango trees, and we tried guava, various different things, but they would get easily eaten up by termites. Which is when we realized what do butterflies actually do. Okay, so when you clear up a piece of forest, Let's say there is a clearing in the forest, there's a man-made clearing. You clean up a whole patch of forest. Who do you think repairs that cleared patch of forest? And I say it is butterflies. And then you would question me, how do you say that? Okay, somebody says pest control also. I do not know how butterflies do pest control, but no, they are the repairers of damaged forests. That's my answer to it. Okay, so you just leave a patch of forest somewhere, and after a few years, you can see the forest has regrown and it has recovered there. Okay, it doesn't happen everywhere. You clear up a forest in certain areas, it just doesn't grow back. Certain areas, it grows very fast. So it depends upon how many butterfly species and how many butterflies are there. More butterflies, that place will regenerate in no time. Okay, so this is how the logic goes. Most of the butterflies have their own, they have an association with a particular plant, which is called as a host plant. This association goes back millions of years. It's linked to the evolution of butterflies. Okay, these plants are called the host plants, plants on which butterflies lay eggs. Okay, not all of the host plants are rare. Most of them are local weeds. I won't say what we call as endemic weeds, not the imported ones. There are a lot of weeds which are menace, but most of the other plants which are endemic, they would be host plants of this butterflies. So weeds are the first plants that come out in a patch of forest, a cleared up, uh, arid uh, patch of forest, and the butterflies will come and lay eggs on it. Now, two things happening simultaneously here. One is the caterpillars will eat out the leaves and stunt the growth of weeds or maybe even kill the weeds. At the same time, all they do is eat and shit. So they would be fertilizing the ground. And they are also an invitation to every other predator group, right? From hornets, wasps, spiders, lizards, birds. They come to eat this caterpillars because they are a rich protein meal for everyone else. Okay, but when they come there to eat, they also, like a bird will come to eat a caterpillar. Okay, it will also bring with it in its through its gut some seeds of other plants. Suppose it's eaten a guava, a bulbul comes, it has eaten a guava, the seeds will be, it'll shit out the seeds there, and it'll take the caterpillar away uh, for its babies or to eat it itself. So that's how the secondary forest comes up. Okay. The weeds are controlled and the seeds are put there, and the soil is fertilized by the excreta of the caterpillars. And from there on, the bigger trees. And that's how a forest gets repaired. So you go to any forest clearing, you will suddenly see a lot of butterflies there. You will, and I've shown, I have demonstrated that even on plateau treks and all. You go through a thick forest, you see no butterflies. Suddenly you come into the clearing and you see a lot of butterflies. Okay, they are busy at its work. Um, they would ensure that this progression of forest is maintained. You go to areas where there are less butterflies, the recovery of nature is much slower. It doesn't happen. Probably it will remain with weeds for the next 5-10 years instead of getting replaced every year, the weeds going off. Similarly, if you have exotic weeds like the eupoterium or lantana camera, again, where these plants are not host plants of butterflies, that patch never gets repaired. Okay, so butterflies, their role of repairing forests is the most important role they have in the ecosystem. And that is the point that we worked on when I couldn't get the forest growing in my the area that I got. We started with a simple thing as a butterfly. Okay, so we just got the host plants. We collected plants on which butterflies will come and breed upon. And slowly the forest just grew. Now it has become a thick forest, so we don't get that many butterflies as we would wish to. So we have to reinvent our place. Now, earlier it was mystic meadows, so now it's no longer meadows, so now it's woods. So now we have to think about something else. Okay, what do we do next? How do we make it interesting for people to come up? Um, that's another interesting point in the way you've got to treat your butterfly garden. You have to understand that If you leave it to it, your butterfly garden would be converted. If you allow it, it over the year butterflies come and rest everything, they take care of it. Okay. And about there's an interesting thing about somebody talking usually about as indicators of pollution. Okay. And that's a question that I'm often asked. Why are they called as indicators of pollution? Unlike us, we find interesting people on Facebook, or nowadays it's Tinder. So butterflies have their own tinder. They call it pheromones. They're tiny molecules of scent on which the male will find the female or the female will find the male. It's their visiting card. They leave their profile up there, and interesting. It smells interesting. They would probably get a match, Tinder match on that. Okay, now if they have to find this, they have to sort it out among all the clutter of the advertisements that we send in terms of smoke and pollution and all that vehicle pollution and all that thing. So if the smell gets mixed up with too many other smells, and then they will not find each other, and then they will not breed. So that's a simple equation why butterflies wouldn't thrive in a city even if we have the host plants. So one thing that you have to ensure in your initiative that you're going is to minimize burning of the leaves or litter. There are a lot of gardeners who do that, and I had that problem. I had my earliest gardener would collect the dry leaves for the day and he would try to burn it. It took a lot of time for him to understand that this is what uh, works against the principle of your butterfly garden. You got to have the air as clean as possible. Do not spray anything. Could be fertilizers, could be pesticides, or you should not allow anything to burn there. And that's how the butterflies will get friendly with each other. They'll get their tinder matches. You'll have a lot of baby caterpillars, and it'll be a thriving butterfly garden if you maintain it that way. Okay. The second aspect is just like how Goa is a good tourist destination and everybody likes to go for a Saturday pubbing. The butterflies have their own concept of pubbing. Okay. Um, a little bit of soil mixed with salt and beer or anything. All the males will congregate at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day. They start their mornings with a swig of a little bit of salt packets. These are like a gift that they have to carry to the females. Females don't do all the work of collecting the salts and calcium. Okay, and that's like a marriage gift. This phenomena is called mud puddling. If you go to the forest, you will find it along the streams on wet soil. You'll see a lot of butterflies settled on the ground. Okay, so that's another important aspect that you could look at in your garden of creating mud puddles. The other thing that you'll often find in videos and you'll find it in photographs of what we call as fruit baiting. You keep spoiled fruits and the butterflies come to it. And I would advise against using that. That's okay if there is an enclosure and your butterflies are safe. Because when they come for the fruit, they forget to fly off. And then they are easy pickings for birds. So unless there are enough people around and there's enough disturbance, do not put up fruit beds. Suppose you're having an event wherein you call the students to watch butterflies and all, definitely put up some overripe papaya or some pineapple. The butterflies will come and sit on it, and then you can watch it at close quarters. But if it is an unsupervised place, there are no people, and you put it out, the butterflies will come, and the birds will also come and eat them up. Okay, so this is my two bits of advice for this butterfly garden. I wish you well, okay, and hope to collaborate with you on a continuing manner in this butterfly gardens. We hope to see a lot more of this, and I wish you all the best in the venture. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, Stessa, you want to take over?
don't have any questions, we can proceed. Thank you, sir, for those insightful words and for all the information you shared with us. We now proceed to inaugurate Paankule, our butterfly garden.
You want to speak from here? No, I'm unmuted already.
Just turn the camera around. No? So grat blossom, which spring to propose the vote of thanks and express our gratitude on behalf of Vasundhara.
On behalf of Vasundhara Green Club, I take this opportunity to thank the principal and the vice principal for their presence and support for this inaugural ceremony of this beautiful butterfly garden. Hearty thanks to our resource person for today, Mr. Yashodan Heblekar for making time for us and for an informative session on role of butterflies in nature. Butterflies help reproduction in plants through pollination. They act as indicators of healthy environment, repairing damaged forest, increasing biodiversity, being part of food chain as well as sometimes being sensitive to climatic changes. The various host plants, how to maintain the garden, not to forget the butterfly trips. Sir, your thoughts and words helped us believe how butterflies are one of amazing creatures on this earth. It was indeed a very interesting session. I'm thankful to Goa State Biodiversity Board in helping us in identifying the plants we required to attract butterflies. I also thank all our staffs for helping us get these plants we listed. Thanks to Sandesh for his help in cleaning the garden. Much thankful to the technical staffs of the college, without whom the smooth conduct of this virtual ceremony wouldn't have been possible. I extend my gratitude to my fellow members of Vasundhara Green Club, Ma'am Ashwini and Miss Tessa, for all your thoughts and efforts put together to launch this beautiful butterfly garden for our campus. Last but not the least, big thanks to all of you for being part of this ceremony and for your encouragement. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Meher. I request all the attendees to kindly switch on your cameras as we will now be clicking a photograph. Please switch on your cameras for the photograph. We have come to the end of the inaugural of a butterfly garden. Thank you all for your patient listening. I would like to leave you all with this quote by Audrey Hepburn, and I quote, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow," unquote. Thank you all once again. Have a wonderful day.